Free, 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 free. Death, death to the IDF. 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 Death, death to the IDF.
So recently, this clip has been going viral everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, even Facebook. And it shows rapper Bob Vylan on stage at a live concert. And he starts chanting, "Free Palestine, Free Palestine."
Free, 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 free.
And then takes it even further by yelling, "Death to the IDF."
Death to the IDF. Death, 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 death to the IDF.
And bro, the crowd actually starts chanting it with him. Like the whole place just erupts. Some people were cheering, others looked kind of confused or shocked, but either way, the video blew up in just a few hours. Now, this happened during his set at the Glastonbury Festival, which is one of the biggest music festivals in the UK. And you already know, when something like this happens on a big stage like that, it doesn't stay quiet. It spreads fast. People started reposting clips everywhere, and it wasn't just fans. It was news pages, political commentators, and even other artists reacting to it. You had one side saying, "Yes, finally someone speaking up for Palestine." And then the other side was like, "Nah, this is hate speech. This is too far." Now here's where it gets serious. The UK police are officially investigating this. They said they're reviewing all the videos and they're trying to determine if what Bob Vylan said actually breaks any hate speech laws. And yeah, they take this kind of stuff seriously, especially when it's public.
UK police are reviewing footage of two performances at the Glastonbury Music Festival after they led audiences in controversial chants. Organisers of the world-famous festival say they're appalled by the words. Europe correspondent Zoe Ford reports from London.
And people are chanting things like "death to the IDF," which is the Israeli military. The investigation is still ongoing, but if they decide this crossed the legal line, he could actually face charges. We don't know yet, but it's definitely not being ignored. What makes this even more complicated is the timing. There's already a lot of global tension right now because of the war in Gaza and everything going on in Palestine and Israel. You've got protests happening in cities, people boycotting brands, and social media is just filled with people taking sides. So when an artist comes out and uses their stage to say something that strong, it's going to hit different. Especially when it's not just "Free Palestine," but actually saying "death to the IDF," which is way more aggressive and could be seen as promoting violence.
Death to the IDF. Death, 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 death to the IDF.
Some people are defending him, though. They're saying this is just freedom of speech, that he was speaking truth to power, and that artists should use their platform to bring awareness to real issues. They say the IDF is responsible for a lot of violence in Gaza, so calling them out is part of protest. But others are saying, nah, that's not the way to do it. They're arguing that when you start calling for death, even if it's towards a military, you cross into dangerous territory. Bob Vylan himself hasn't released an official statement yet, but his fans are already backing him up online. They're calling him brave, saying he's not afraid to speak out, and some are even saying the police trying to investigate him is just more proof that the system protects the oppressors. But on the flip side, Jewish organizations and Israeli supporters are calling it incitement and hate speech, and they want him held accountable. The wild part is, this one moment on stage might actually affect his whole career. Like Glastonbury is a major festival. Brands, organizers, and even streaming platforms might think twice before working with someone if this becomes a full-on legal situation. And even though he hasn't been arrested or charged yet, just the fact that police are reviewing the video is enough to cause a lot of tension right now. So yeah, that's where things stand. A live concert, a bold political statement, and now a full-blown investigation. The internet is split, people are taking sides, and we're all waiting to see what happens next. Will the police press charges? Will Bob Vylan double down or apologize? And what does this mean for artists who want to speak out on controversial issues? Is this freedom of expression or did he go too far? Let me know what you think in the comments. Was this powerful activism or reckless speech? Either way, it's clear this moment isn't going away anytime soon.